Hello, welcome back to Sacred Vapes. Channel that aims to bring you the views and experiences of products in the market today, brought to you by an average vapor. Now this week, I've got something that's very polarising. I mentioned it at the end of last week. It's something that as a kit, it's very bizarre to really talk about. So I'm going to try and break it down and talk about, hopefully, the individual parts instead. It's this, the Vaporesso Luxe Nano kit. Now, there's not much else I can say about Vaporesso that I haven't said already. Very good company, very reliable. I don't think I've ever heard anyone really say anything negative about the mods. Never seen any fault. So, it's very interesting for me when something like the Luxe drops. It's a massive hit, and then some months later they release the Nano version. I think there's a mini version out as well, but the Nano version, internal battery device, it follows the same profile, and it comes with the Skrr mini tank or Skrr S tank. But before we get talking about all that, I've got to give her a vape. Now, just noticed that airflow was completely closed over. Right, what you get in the box first and foremost. That's the packaging. Nice, simple display. Look on the back. You get, zoom it in. You get your content, warnings, scratch card, all the rest of it, what you'd expect. So get her open now. Now you'll get the mod in this little packet. Now, that would be where the tank and the mod is. Obviously, as always, mine is on the table next to me. And then you get a box underneath. So we'll get the box open now. Now you get a spare glass. You get two coils. Both the QF stripped and the QF mesh coils, which I've covered before. You get O-rings, vape band, spare parts. See what else is in the box. USB cable. I've been using my own to charge this. The warranty card. And you get an instruction booklet. So, when I said I wanted to try and split this up, it's mainly because I don't really want to focus on the tank. I'll break it down now for you guys, but I don't really want to review the tank as such. There's only really going to be one more mention of this tank, and that will be later on. So, the mod itself is a 2500 mAh internal battery device. It comes with side fire button. It comes with two tapstick touch. That's how you say it, tapstick. Currently locked at the minute, and when you touch them you get a vibration feedback, and you get the menu button there again, tap stick control. Front USB port, that's the design on the back for this one. Top of the device, about 25mm, about that. At a push before you get overhang. I mean, this mini tank is pushing the limits a little bit, but yeah. On operating this device, nice and easy, right? You get a lovely display with your mode, your battery, you get ohms, puff counter, volts, seconds, and the time. You get a lovely light up Luxe Nano at the top, and obviously Vaporesso. Now to operate this, 5 clicks turns it off, and you get that. I forgot to mention it's an Omniboard 4.2, the latest chipset from Vaporesso. Now 5 clicks turns it on. There you go. Your logo. Now to operate this, it's the menu button there. Press it 3 times. Whoop, that was a bit too quick. There you go. Takes into the menu. Now you get normal, variable wattage, which is standard. Let's get back into there again. There we go. Back in the menu. You get Super Player, which is designed if you're using coils that are 0.03 to 0.05. That's what that mode's for. You get temperature control, which is under the SS, variable voltage mode. You get control current, or current control, or control curve, however you want to say it. Lets you control the power curve if you want to adjust it from low to high as you're vaping. Bypass mode. DIY, which is your preset power, like normal, soft, hard. And settings. Go into the settings now. To select each item on this is to press the menu button, not the fire button. If you press the fire button, it'll do nothing. So yeah, default mode, there you go. Not too sure what default is. I think it sets everything back to default. Time set. Brightness, let you adjust the brightness. Puff counter. Smart mode, which I'm not too sure what smart mode is. Auto mode. To be honest, I haven't played with them. Screen timeout. Key light, which is the lights obviously there. Vibrate, to let you turn the tap stick off, which I don't particularly recommend. And the version, which again will show you what it is. And that's about it. Let's get back out. And yeah, that's pretty much the device. 3 clicks locks it. And you'll get a little padlock, as you can see on the bottom there. And that locks the buttons. But you can't seem to lock the fire button. You have to turn it off to do that. So, the tank is a 2 ml capacity tank. Comes compatible with the Vaporesso Skrr coils. It's bottom adjustable airflow. Top fill, you simply screw the top off. And you get your fill hole there. Screw it back on. You get, I'm assuming this is a 510 drip tip. Replaceable. And yeah, that's pretty much the tank that you get. It's basically a mini version of the Skrr. Now, you get a screensaver as well. I haven't set the time, but you get a screensaver with the time and the date and even the day, which is a nice touch. So yeah, that was a quick rundown of what the mod is. So let's get into the pros and cons. Now, as I say, I'm going to focus on the mod. First pro for me is going to be, it looks absolutely fantastic. It's one of the nicest mods I think I've ever reviewed for you guys. The way it all lights up, I love the way the fact that the Luxe Nano lights up, especially on the startup. I love the fact that everything's nice and clear. You know, the power is right there in the middle. You know, you do have the battery indicator, the time. You know, you have everything that you want, but it doesn't look overloaded on the screen. Everything looks neat, it looks tidy. Absolutely love that. Next pro for me, I mean, it's responsive. As you can hear, nice and responsive. Love the fact that you can lock the tap stick controls. That's a big pro for me. Next pro is going to be the options. Well worth mentioning them. I absolutely love the options that you get on this. It's the fact that for an internal device, internal battery device, and something that's a nano kit, you don't expect that much. You expect a very shrunken down version of the main mod. So for the fact that you can actually put the super player mode on, you can still control the curve. You know, you have all the temperature control, bypassing, you know, all of them options in there. That's absolutely fantastic to get in a little mod. Now, a lot of them aren't going to be very, what's the best word, useful. For example, the bypass mode. I accidentally was firing this in bypass mode earlier before I was doing this review, and the battery's drained quite quickly. So I'm not gonna. That's not really going to be an efficient way of using the mod. You're going to be sticking to the variable wattage, or you're going to be putting it into temperature control if that's how you want to vape. Next pro for me, something I can't actually show you on camera because I'm not next to a plug hole, but when you're charging the device, it tells you how long it's going to be until it's fully charged. which is another feature I absolutely love with this. I really do. It's the standard charge from dead to full comes up at 150 minutes. Now there is a little bit of a drop in that. I noticed it before when I stuck it on charge to get ready for this review, that it was 150 minutes, and then 5 minutes later it dropped down to 120. So it's not, that was via a USB port. It's obviously going to be quicker if you wall charging it. I always recommend doing it through a USB port, but yeah, I absolutely love the fact that it tells you that. I think that's a really nice touch, and I haven't come across a mod before that does that. So yeah, big fan of that. Next pro for me is going to be, it's nice and easy to use. You know, that's real. Them buttons are really responsive when you've got them locked. You know, there's only one vibrate. Another thing that I think's really, really nice feature on it. You know, it's not like you're pressing this and it's vibrating each time. You know, it's simply press it once and then it locks you out. But it's not, I've not had any Hell's Gate issues. Something that I mentioned with another mod, the Naboo, well back in November, I think it was now, that it had a Hell's Gate issue with the touch controls, because it lock you out of firing if you touch the screen. It doesn't do that. It doesn't do that at all. I think I accidentally touched that. Still letting me fire. So yeah, absolutely love that. 2,500 mAh internal battery, not bad. I'd say it will, at standard use, it will last you about 3 hours maybe with regular use. I know when I first started using this, I didn't actually take that into account. Took it out and it died on me. So very, very useful, the fact that I could USB charge it and work. But yeah, absolutely love that. The fact that it just doesn't lock up on you. Next pro for me, it feels really nice. You know, it's really small, really fits in your hand, nice and comfortable, as I say. The fact that you can just do that. Next pro, I'm not too sure what else I can really talk about. Battery life's really good. The mode option's really good. It's responsive. It looks really nice. You know, everything you could possibly want in a mod. So going to cons now, and there isn't many. I mean, a personal con for me is a tapstick touch. I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer buttons. But if you would like the idea of that, you know, it's not going to be a con for you. Next con for me, it's going to be, as I touched on it earlier, but the options in this, as much as they're really good that they've included them, as I say, I don't think it's very practical. Mainly because, as I say, the bypass mode just completely drained the battery from about 40% down to, well, red, all within a couple of pulls. So it's not efficient to use it like that. Next con for me is going to be, it's not really self-explanatory with the modes. I had to research them. So things like the super player mode and the way the temperature controls are set up, and you know, yeah, it's something that you're going to have to read the book at or look it up online. It's not going to be self-explanatory compared to a mod that, for example, just has W for wattage and then has the coil type or temperature control, if you follow me drift. So yeah, that's a bit of a con. Other than that, there's only one more con, and this is where the tank comes into it. Mainly because this mod isn't very good at heat dissipation. And what I mean by that is that it's where the con of this tank comes in. Because if you look at the tank, that's a Skrr tank, but it's shrunken all the way down to a 2 mil capacity, which understandably is just a small version. Problem is, the coil is still the same size coil. So you don't get a smaller coil, you get the same full size coil, and there's no room at all. You know, in fact, the juice capacity when it's going down is very quick. As soon as you get past that first part, it's very quick down to there, because, as I say, it's just a massive coil in a tiny tank. So the heat isn't going anywhere. So the problem is the heat is then going down into the mod, and then the mod's warming up as a result. So for the tank, it's a con for the tank because it just isn't a practical tank. And for the mod, you do have that heat issue. If you're powering at like 70 watts, I mean, this is at 69 watts now, and I can feel I've took what, 2 pulls on it, 3 pulls in this video, and yeah, it does feel warm. So that's the only real con I can say. So the airflow in the tank's alright, but we'll get into the overall now. Now overall, would I recommend this? That's going to be the big question. You know, I haven't spoke highly about the tank, but as a kit, no. But not in the conventional sense, and this is where it's a bit polarizing, because for the mod, if you're looking for an internal battery device that's absolutely gorgeous like this, you know, there's plenty of modes for you to use, you know, really responsive, it's got the brilliant Omni chip inside, I highly recommend the mod. In fact, if you're looking for an internal battery device anywhere, then this could well be an option for you. Would I recommend the tank? No, not at all. I think it's a terribly designed tank. There's no way you should be sticking a giant coil in there, vaping at 75 watts, and not expecting issues. However, this is where the polarizing again comes in. Do I recommend the standard Skrr tank? Yes, absolutely. I absolutely love that. I mean, I'll put the link at the end of this video to the Skrr review. But yeah, you know from watching that before, the Skrr tank, in my opinion, is a fantastic tank. Just when you shrink it down from about 8 mils to 2 mils, it's just not a practical tank. So, when it comes to my recommendation, pick this mod up. Definitely, really recommend it. But go for something low powered, either a direct to lung, mouth to lung tank, or a low powered direct lung tank, you know, around 40 watts. One that isn't going to heat up too much. And especially if you're building your own coils, if you're using RDA and RTA, you again build them so they're higher resistance, so it's a low powered vape. And you're probably not going to get the heat issues that you're going to get with a sub-ohm tank on the top. But yeah, I just wouldn't recommend using that tank. I would highly recommend, if you want to try the Skrr tank, buy the proper version, because it one of my favourite tanks of the year. But yeah, that was the Vaporesso, I'm going to call it the Skrr then, the Vaporesso Luxe Nano kit. As always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'm going to be able to bring you a juice review to you guys this weekend. It's the end of the competition, so definitely check that out. Enter if you haven't already. But yeah, thank you for watching. Give the video a like, or let me know your thoughts below. You know, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, next week, over the next week, I'm going to have a couple of great reviews for you guys coming up, so check them out. But as I always say, stay safe. And keep vaping.